Hi, socially distanced public speaking students. It's Ms. O'Reilly here, and I'm going to go through quickly how to access resources from the library's website, how to save them to your Google Drive so we have them to use in the future, and also to make a works cited with down the road, and also how to contact me if you have further questions or need help with doing more of your research or finding information. So, first thing we need to do is go to the library's website so that you can get to our databases. And here is the address, CH for Cherry Hill, eastlibrary.org. Make sure you are spelling that correctly. Library to get to our library's website. So I'm going to type that in, eastlibrary.org. And once you get to the library's website, scroll down a little bit. You will find a box here in the middle where you can enter your search term for the topic that you will be researching. Mrs. Bond suggested pets as the topic that I demonstrate with today, so I'm going to type in pets. Now, this next screen may come as a surprise to you, as it did to me earlier today when I was trying out using the library's resources. Typically, we get to a different screen, which hopefully many of you are familiar with from using our resources before. There is a way on here that we need to click to get to that screen. So please ignore all of this that's on here. Looks like EBSCO has been making some changes on us. So do not go here where it says sign in with Google. Also, do not type anything in any of these boxes. You need to come down here to where it says institutional login. That is where we need to click to be directed to the right place. So now we'll be here on the library's site. It says East Library at the top. And this is where we enter in our username and password. Hopefully this page looks familiar to many of you because this is the one that we use to authenticate, to prove that we are Cherry Hill East students and that we have the right to access these databases and this information that our school is paying for you to have. Here is where you will put your ID number. So your whole 7-digit student ID number goes in the username. Do not put anything else in this box. No at chclc.org or anything else in the username. If you do, you will be told that you are entering the wrong information, even if you are entering the correct information. I'm not quite sure why, but we cannot use at chclc.org in this box. Only your 7-digit student ID number. For staff, it is different, however, so I'm going to put in my information. My computer yells at me about my password. So ID number and whatever your password is for everything else school related is what you will put in that search box. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do, let me go back to my slide here. The next thing is when you find information that you think is going to be useful to you, save it to your Google Drive from EBSCO so that we can get back into it again and have it accessible for the future. This will be particularly important for when you go to make a works cited page later on, so that we can get back to all of the resources that you used and quickly and easily create that document, whether you're doing it for this project or projects in the future that require a works cited or works consulted or bibliography or reference list, whatever we're calling it. It's going to be crucial to save to your Google Drive. All right, so let me go back to my result list here. If you find one of these, this with a little light bulb, start your research topic here at the top of your results, this is a great place to go for just some general information about the keyword or the topic that you're searching. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. to get into this article. Now, once we are in one of the articles, over here on the right hand side is where we can then choose Google Drive to save our work. So when you find an article that you think is going to be useful to you, the very first thing you will do is come over here to the right, click on where it says Google Drive. My computer is currently blocking pop-ups, so I'll have to click there to get to it. When you do this for the very first time, you will be asked to give EBSCO permission to add things to your Google Drive. I've already done this, so it is not coming up for me now, but if you guys are doing this for the very first time, you'll get a message or you'll get a screen here that asks you to sign into your Google account. Make sure you're using your school Google CHCLC account. And then you need to hit allow to give EBSCO permission to save your work to your Google Drive. So as I said, I've already done that. Let me just refresh my page here so that I can now go into Google Drive, and you'll see I get a message that says save to Google Drive. Your document has been saved. So I can just click OK here. And if I open a new tab and go into my Google Drive, I have a folder in my drive that's named EBSCO. And when I open that up, after it loads, you'll see that the pet article I was looking at gets added here into my drive. Hopefully. Oh, and it's there a couple times because I was playing around with this a little bit earlier too. So that is how information will get saved into the EBSCO folder in your Google Drive once you grant it permission to do that. Now that I'm back here in EBSCO, I'm going to go back to my other search results so that I can continue to look at this information a little bit further. Up here is where my search term is. So say instead of just pets, I wanted to look for dogs in particular as a type of pet. I can change my search term here. I don't have to sign in or do anything else. It'll just give me that search, those search results here within this EBSCO page. Again, there's a research starter here for me. Some things I want to point out to you about the search results that you're finding. Pay attention to these things that you see here underneath the title for each one of your searches. The first things that are coming up for me here are ebooks. So these are digital formats of books that you can read here on your computer screen. Some of the other things that are available are periodicals. So that would be from a magazine or newspaper, would be something that's published periodically. So you can look for information that way. If you come over here on the left, I wanted to point out to you this limit by source type box. This is a way to kind of break down some of the resources that you found if you're finding that there's too much information that came up at once, or if you're finding, well, these are all ebooks. I don't really want an ebook. I wanted more of a magazine article or more of a journal article. You can change what you're seeing by coming over here to this limit by source type. So I'm going to click on show more, and you'll see that all the different types of sources that came up for my search are listed here. This one here in particular, primary source documents, is very important to students, and it may be not as important for this project, but definitely when you're doing things for history classes or science classes. There are times when your teacher tells you to specifically only go to primary source documents. So this would be a great way to find that quickly if that's what you need to do. But I can go here, I can check off just the magazines that I want to look at, or just the news articles that I want to look at within these search results. And then when I hit update, you'll see that the only things that are coming up here in my list now are periodicals and the other things that I have checked off. Be careful of this reviews. I'm going to uncheck these just so that you can see. Oh, it's updating on me. Just so that you can see the difference between what these reviews are. Ooh, where did it go? I want to uncheck this. And I want to uncheck this news so that you're seeing the reviews. Now, these reviews, when these come up, when it says review, that means that it is a book or it is an item that somebody is writing a review about. So it's not the book itself that you're looking at. It's just what somebody is saying, whether or not this would be a good book for you to use for your research. So for this project, I would definitely avoid the reviews, and there's 428,000 that came up for dogs, because that's not going to give you any actual information about your topic. It's just going to let you know some more specifics about that resource. It's not going to give you the resource itself. So I would be careful of that and make sure that you are not looking at reviews when you're trying to do this work. Something else that might be useful to you, depending on what your topics are, is this publication date range. If you're looking for something that happened at a particular time period, particular time in history, you might want to change these dates so that you're only honing your results in on that particular time frame. Okay. I know I went over things kind of quickly, and there's a lot of information here. The keys are going to be to make sure you are trying different searches, trying different things. Maybe you want to do dog training if you're not getting what you want specifically by just typing in dogs. Try narrowing your search. There also might be times when you have to broaden your search. If you're trying to find something far too specific, you might have to back it up and look at something more broadly, and then read the articles themselves, look for headings and different things that might give you the specifics that you need. But the key will be to make sure whatever you're finding, you are saving to your Google Drive, so that we have it to look at again in the future. In your drive, we can get to these articles quickly. The other thing is, if I were to go here and click on the hyperlink at the top and try to copy and paste this, it will not bring me back to this article. That is a big problem that students run into. If they try to copy and paste this web address to get back to the article, it is not going to work because of the authentication and the searching and other things that EBSCO does. The only way, and I'm going to go back to my slide here because I have it written here, the only way to get an article so that you're sure you can get back to it again is saving it here in your Google Drive, or over here on the right hand side where the tools are, this permalink. Here is where you can copy a link and paste it somewhere in a Google Doc or somewhere that you need to go to get back to it again, and then put it up in your search bar to get back to that article specifically once again. So clicking here and copying this, if I were to try to use this link tomorrow to get back to this article, it would not work for me. Only this permalink, the little chain link icon next to it, will get me back into this article. So that's why I'm suggesting to everyone just to add it to your Google Drive instead of trying to deal with links at all, so that we're sure we can get back to it that way. One more quick thing I want to show you here in Google Drive. When I go to open it, it kind of opens up in a preview view where it looks like a bunch of computer code that I can't really do much with, but you'll see up here in the top on the middle, it gives me the option to open with Google Docs. And if I select that instead, it will convert it from my Google Drive into a Google Doc that I'm then able to read the information and not just have computer code coming up on my screen. All right, so to review, you will go to the library's website. You will save articles that you find that you think will be useful into your Google Drive. If you need a link for some reason, make sure you're using a permalink and not just the web address bar. And then we also talked about how to limit some of your results if you go to that limit results box on the left-hand side. Most importantly, this is why I do what I do. I am here to be a personal research assistant for you. Both myself and Ms. Greenblatt are library media specialists at Cherry Hill East, and you can contact either one of us. Here's my email address. And Ms. Greenblatt is a greenblatt@chclc.org. Please feel free to reach out at any time for any project, any research, anything that you need, and we will gladly do all that we can to help you get the information because that is what media specialists, librarians do. We help you to get to information. I wish you all a wonderful day, and please reach out for whatever it is that you need help with. Thanks. Bye.